Have you ever wondered why so many people spend years chasing success, yet never seem to get any closer to it? It isn't because they lack intelligence. It isn't because they were born without talent. And it isn't because life refused to give them opportunities. Most people stay stuck because their attention is constantly being pulled away from what truly matters. They spend their days watching other people's lives, comparing their progress, reacting to opinions, chasing validation, and fighting battles that have nothing to do with their future. Meanwhile, the one thing that could completely change their life is slowly slipping away: their energy. Energy is the most valuable resource you possess. More valuable than money because money can be earned again. More valuable than time because even with time, nothing meaningful happens without the energy to act. Everything you dream of creating depends on how you use it. Yet every single day, people give their energy away without realizing it. They waste it on endless scrolling, pointless conversations, unnecessary arguments, jealousy, fear, and the exhausting need to prove themselves to people who were never meant to determine their worth. By the time evening arrives, they feel exhausted, not because they built something meaningful, but because they spent the entire day feeding distractions instead of their purpose. Now imagine a different life. Imagine waking up every morning with one decision already made. Your energy belongs to you, not to social media, not to negative people, not to critics, not to gossip, not to comparison, just you. The moment you make that decision, everything begins to change. Because focused energy creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates discipline. And discipline builds the life most people only dream about. Success is rarely about dramatic breakthroughs. It's usually the result of thousands of quiet decisions made consistently over time. Every hour you spend improving your skills, every book you finish, every workout you complete, every difficult conversation you face, every promise you keep to yourself, it all compounds. At first, nobody notices. The progress feels invisible. The results seem small. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. You are becoming someone different. Most people quit during this invisible stage because they expect immediate rewards. They want applause before they've earned mastery. They want recognition before they've created results. But real transformation never begins on the outside. It always begins within. The strongest people you will ever meet are usually the quietest. Not because they have nothing to say, but because their attention is invested in building something bigger than opinions. They understand a simple truth. Every distraction has a price. Every unnecessary argument steals focus. Every comparison weakens confidence. Every attempt to impress others delays personal growth. That's why they become selective. Selective with their conversations. Selective with their friendships. Selective with where they place their attention. Because they know attention is life. Where your attention goes, your future follows. Think about the greatest version of yourself for a moment. The healthiest version, the strongest version, the most disciplined version. That person isn't created overnight. That version of you is built every time you choose your goals over temporary comfort. Every time you say no to distractions. Every time you continue working while others are looking for entertainment. Most people protect their money. Very few protect their energy. But energy determines whether money is created. Energy determines whether dreams become reality. Energy determines whether potential stays trapped inside you or becomes something the world can see. Guard it carefully, because once your energy becomes scattered, your focus disappears. And without focus, even extraordinary talent becomes ordinary. There is another powerful truth that many people never discover. Energy is contagious. Walk into a room filled with anxiety, complaints, and negativity. Stay there long enough, and you'll begin to think differently. You'll feel heavier. You'll become distracted. Your ambition slowly fades without you even noticing. Now enter a room filled with disciplined people. People who are working quietly, learning constantly, improving themselves every single day. Suddenly your standards begin to rise. Your conversations become different. Your habits improve. Your vision expands. That's the power of protecting your environment. Because your environment shapes your energy, and your energy shapes your future. This is why silence becomes such an incredible advantage. Silence isn't weakness. Silence isn't fear. Silence is protection. You don't need to announce every goal. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need permission to improve your life. The more you speak about your plans, the more opinions you invite. Some people will doubt you. Some will laugh. Others will project their own limitations onto your dreams. None of that helps you grow. Instead, build quietly, learn quietly, work quietly. Let your habits become louder than your promises. There is something incredibly foul about becoming successful without constantly telling people you're going to be successful. When results arrive, explanations become unnecessary. People stop listening to your words. They start paying attention to your actions. And actions always speak a language that no criticism can silence. So ask yourself one question. Where is your energy going today? Is it building your future or feeding distractions? Every thought you entertain, every conversation you continue, every habit you repeat is an investment. Choose investments that multiply your life. Protect your energy, protect your peace, protect your vision. Because the person who learns to master their energy eventually masters everything else. Focus on yourself, move with purpose, stay silent, and let your results introduce you to the world. Most people never lose because someone else was better. They lose because they spend too much time watching someone else's race instead of running their own. Comparison is one of the quietest forms of self-destruction. It rarely announces itself. It begins with a simple glance at someone else's success. Someone buys a new house. Someone launches a business. Someone reaches a fitness goal. Someone goes viral overnight. At first it seems harmless, but slowly your mind begins asking dangerous questions. Why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Why does success come so easily to everyone except me? Without realizing it, you've stopped measuring your life by your own progress. You're now measuring it against someone else's timeline, and that's a race you'll never win. Because every person is fighting a battle you cannot see. You see their victories. You rarely see their failures. You see the finished product. You don't see the years of sacrifice that built it. Social media has made this even worse. Every scroll is a carefully edited highlight reel. Perfect vacations, perfect relationships, perfect businesses, perfect bodies, perfect lives. But perfection is often just a carefully chosen camera angle. Behind every smiling photograph is a story you know nothing about. Behind every successful person are moments of doubt, fear, rejection, and failure that never made it online. So why compare your everyday reality to someone else's best moments? It makes no sense. Your greatest competition has never been another person. It's the version of yourself that settled yesterday. Every morning you have only one responsibility. Become slightly stronger, slightly wiser, slightly healthier, slightly more disciplined. Small improvements repeated consistently create extraordinary lives. That's how confidence is built. Not by defeating everyone else, but by refusing to stay the same. Confidence grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. Every workout completed, every chapter read, every distraction ignored, every difficult task finished, every excuse defeated. These moments seem insignificant, but together they build an identity that no opinion can shake. Once you stop comparing yourself to others, something remarkable happens. Your mind becomes quiet. You stop rushing. You stop panicking. You stop feeling behind. Instead of chasing everyone else's destination, you begin creating your own. And suddenly life feels lighter, because you're no longer carrying expectations that were never yours. You begin appreciating your own journey, your own lessons, your own timing, your own victories. That is where genuine confidence begins, not in proving yourself to the world, but in finally accepting yourself. Now there's another quality that separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones. Obsession. Most people are afraid of that word. They hear it and imagine something unhealthy, something extreme, something dangerous. But there is another kind of obsession. The obsession with becoming the best version of yourself. The obsession with mastering your craft. The obsession with refusing to waste your potential. History has never been changed by people who cared only when it was convenient. Great achievements have always belonged to those who stayed committed long after excitement disappeared. When everyone else stopped, they continued. When everyone else became distracted, they became more focused. When everyone else looked for shortcuts, they accepted the long road. That isn't luck, that's commitment. Most people flirt with their dreams. They work hard for a week, take a break, start again next month, quit when progress slows down, then wonder why nothing changes. Mastery never belongs to people who visit their goals occasionally. It belongs to those who show up every single day, especially when they don't feel like it. Real obsession isn't loud, it doesn't need attention, it doesn't constantly announce itself. It simply returns to work, again and again and again. While everyone else is waiting for motivation, obsession relies on discipline, because motivation is emotional. Discipline is a decision. The people who build remarkable lives don't wake up inspired every morning. They wake up committed. That's the difference. Commitment keeps moving when emotions disappear. People may misunderstand your dedication. Some will say you're working too much. Some will tell you to slow down. Others will laugh at your routines. Don't let that distract you. Most criticism comes from people who gave up on goals they once had themselves. Your consistency reminds them of promises they never kept. That's why discipline often makes people uncomfortable. Stay committed anyway. Every hour you invest today is building a version of yourself your future will thank you for. Every sacrifice has a reward. Every distraction you reject strengthens your focus. Every difficult decision increases your resilience. Success isn't created in giant moments. It's created in ordinary days repeated with extraordinary consistency. Eventually, something incredible happens. The habits that once felt difficult become automatic. The discipline that once required effort becomes your identity. The person who once struggled to stay focused becomes someone who cannot be distracted. That transformation changes everything. Because once your identity changes, your actions change. When your actions change, your results change. And when your results change, your entire life changes. So stop chasing other people's success. Build your own. Stop admiring discipline from a distance. Practice it daily. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start becoming ready through action. Focus on your own lane. Protect your attention. Become obsessed with your growth. Because the greatest investment you will ever make is becoming someone your future self will be proud to remember. Respect is one of the few things in life that cannot be demanded. You cannot buy it. You cannot force it. You cannot talk your way into it. Real respect is earned through consistencies, discipline, and the quiet confidence that comes from keeping your word. The world is full of people making announcements. They talk about the business they're going to build, the body they're going to achieve, the habits they're going to start, the dreams they're going to chase. For a moment, words feel satisfying. They create the illusion of progress, but nothing changes. Because talking about success is never the same as building it. The people who leave the deepest mark on the world usually aren't the ones making the most noise. They're the ones working when nobody is paying attention. While others are posting every step, they're practicing. While others are defending themselves, they're improving. While others are looking for applause, they're becoming someone worthy of it. That's why silence is so powerful. Silence protects your energy. Silence protects your confidence. Silence protects your vision before it's strong enough to stand against doubt. Every time you announce a goal too early, you invite opinions. Some people will question your ability. Some will laugh at your ambition. Others will project their own fears onto your future. None of those voices belong in your journey. Not every dream needs an audience. Some dreams need privacy. Some goals grow best in silence. Just like a seed develops beneath the soil, long before anyone sees the tree, your greatest transformation happens where nobody is looking. The strongest foundations are always invisible. Remember this. People don't respect promises. They respect proof. They don't remember what you said you would become. They remember what you actually became. Let your actions become your introduction. There is another gift hidden inside silence. It teaches emotional control. Anyone can react. Anyone can argue. Anyone can raise their voice. Very few people can remain calm when misunderstood. Very few can smile instead of seeking revenge. Very few can stay focused while everyone around them is creating chaos. A kind of restraint is rare. And rare qualities always attract respect. When someone insults you, you have two choices. You can spend your energy trying to win the argument, or you can invest that same energy into becoming so successful that the argument no longer matters. One choice satisfies your ego. The other changes your life. Choose wisely. Silence also makes you more observant. When you're constantly speaking, you're rarely learning. When you're always trying to be heard, you miss what others reveal without realizing it. Quiet people notice patterns. They recognize character. They see intentions hidden beneath words. They learn because they're listening instead of performing. Observation creates wisdom. Wisdom creates better decisions. And better decisions create better lives. The world rewards those who can think before they react. That is why emotional discipline is one of the greatest competitive advantages you can develop. The strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest. It's often the one who has complete control over themselves, control over emotions, control over attention, control over actions. Self-mastery is louder than any speech. And once you master yourself, very little outside of you can disturb your peace. Now, think about focus. Every extraordinary achievement in history began with someone refusing to become distracted. Distraction has become the modern epidemic. Notifications, breaking news, and entertainment, constant comparison, opinions from strangers. Every single distraction asks for one thing, your attention. And attention is your most valuable asset. Whatever receives your attention grows. Feed excuses, excuses grow. Feed discipline, discipline grows. Feed your purpose, your future grows. Your life is always expanding in the direction of your focus. That is why protecting your attention is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Many people believe freedom means having unlimited choices, but unlimited choices often create confusion. Real freedom comes from knowing exactly what deserves your attention and having the courage to ignore everything else. Every unnecessary commitment steals time from something meaningful. Every meaningless distraction delays your progress. Every wasted hour is a piece of your future you never get back. Focus simplifies life. Instead of chasing 10 different goals, you master one. Instead of pleasing everyone, you stay loyal to your purpose. Instead of reacting to every opportunity, you patiently build the right one. The more focused your life becomes, the less stressful it feels. Clarity replaces confusion. Purpose replaces anxiety. Direction replaces doubt. Suddenly you wake up knowing exactly what needs to be done. And when every day moves in the same direction, momentum becomes unstoppable. The remarkable thing about focus is that it compounds. One focused hour every day becomes hundreds of hours every year. Those hundreds become expertise. Expertise becomes opportunity. Opportunity becomes success. What looked like overnight success was actually years of uninterrupted focus hidden from the world. That's the secret most people never see. The spotlight only appears after thousands of hours spent in the shadows. Protect those hours. Protect your mornings. Protect your routines. Protect your attention with the same determination you would protect your greatest treasure. Because your future is being built one focused hour at a time. Ignore the noise. Ignore the comparisons. Ignore the pressure to constantly explain yourself. Walk your path quietly. Improve relentlessly. Stay patient. Stay focused. And let your results become impossible for the world to ignore. Everything you've heard up to this point comes down to one final principle: discipline. Without it, talent fades. Without it, motivation disappears. Without it, even the greatest dreams remain nothing more than imagination. Discipline is what transforms potential into reality. It is the invisible force behind every remarkable life. Most people wait until they feel inspired. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect opportunity, the perfect time. But discipline doesn't wait, it acts. Whether the weather is good or bad, whether the mood is high or low, whether anyone is watching or not. That's why disciplined people keep moving while everyone else keeps making excuses. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is rarely one giant decision. It's thousands of small decisions made consistently. Choosing to wake up instead of hitting snooze. Choosing to train when comfort says rest. Choosing to study when entertainment is calling. Choosing long-term purpose over short-term pleasure. Each choice seems insignificant, but together they build character. And character shapes destiny. Understand this. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your identity. Every promise you break weakens it. Confidence is not created by positive thinking alone. Confidence grows when your actions repeatedly prove that your word can be trusted. The greatest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. If you constantly disappoint yourself, your confidence slowly disappears. But when you honor your commitments day after day, something powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself. And once self-trust is established, fear loses much of its power. Because deep inside, you know you'll keep going, regardless of how difficult life becomes. That kind of confidence cannot be given by compliments. It cannot be bought. It must be earned through discipline. Many people see successful individuals and assume they were lucky. They see the victory. They never see the mornings filled with sacrifice. The lonely evenings spent learning. The weekends invested instead of wasted. The failures that quietly built resilience. Success always has a hidden cost. Most people simply aren't willing to pay it. But those who are, become impossible to stop. Remember this. Comfort is expensive. It costs dreams. It costs opportunities. It costs the person you could have become. Growth asks for effort. Comfort asks for nothing. One builds your future. The other quietly steals it. Every day, life places these two choices in front of you. Comfort or growth. Excuses or responsibility. Distraction or purpose. No one else can make those decisions for you. Your future is created by the choices you repeat, not the goals you write down. There will be days when progress feels invisible. Days when your hard work seems unnoticed. Days when doubt whispers that none of it is worth the effort. Those are the days that matter most. Because discipline is revealed when motivation disappears. Anyone can work when they feel excited. Champions continue when excitement is gone. That is where greatness is born. Never underestimate the power of consistency. One disciplined day may not change your life. One disciplined week may not either. But disciplined months become disciplined years. And disciplined years create extraordinary lives. Time rewards those who refuse to quit. Eventually, people will ask how you changed. They'll wonder where your confidence came from. They'll call you gifted, they'll call you fortunate. Some may even call you an overnight success. Smile quietly, because you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It wasn't perfect timing. It was the decision to keep showing up when nobody cared. To keep learning when nobody applauded. To keep believing when nobody understood. That's what changed everything. Never forget this. Your attention is your power. Your energy is your fuel. Your silence is your protection. Your focus is your direction. Your discipline is your foundation. And your habits are writing the story of your future every single day. Stop chasing attentions. Start chasing excellence. Stop announcing your intentions. Start building undeniable results. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's destination. Become so committed to your own growth that outside opinions lose their influence. The world will always be loud. People will always have opinions. Distractions will always compete for your attention. None of that has to control you. Choose a different path. Wake up with purpose. Protect your peace. Guard your energy, master your habits, move with patience, work with intention, speak less, observe more, learn constantly, improve relentlessly, and never allow temporary comfort to steal permanent fulfillment. One day, you'll look back and realize the life you once dreamed about wasn't created by one extraordinary moment. It was built by ordinary days lived with extraordinary discipline. So from this moment forward, focus on yourself, protect your energy, walk in silence, stay disciplined when no one is watching. Stay focused when distractions appear. Stay committed when the journey becomes difficult, because every decision you make today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Keep building, keep growing, keep believing, and let your life become the proof that discipline, focus, and quiet determination can accomplish what noise never will. Your greatest victory won't be proving people wrong. It will be proving to yourself that you became everything you once promised you would become. Now go build that life, quietly,